the damage. Says this was all caused by bodies, but then later turns around and says hits barricades and other objects. I've heard testimony about hearing loud crashes and things of that nature, but the DA wants you to believe that this all came from people. Evidence doesn't support that.
Upper in her face. What is he doing?
Who? Him?
No, Upper. It's like, what do you about to have a stroke?
So I go back to
Your
trying to
blood
wrap my
pressure
head
is so
around
high,
everything that's happened in the last year.
about to pass out.
That is interesting. I wonder if maybe she's just focusing really hard and just preparing to object when he brings up phony facts.
Yeah, it's got to be hard at certain points to keep your mouth shut and let somebody, somebody speak the way court is supposed to go. You watch like cases of people that represent themselves or have never been through court proceedings, and they can't stop themselves sometimes when somebody's testifying to something they just like can't handle, and they just blurt out, "That's not true. That's a lie." It's like it takes a lot of like willpower. People are
Yeah,
much more patient than me to sit there and listen to this and just patiently wait your turn to dispute those facts.
yeah. And
Eric,
there's probably a lot of people out there that can't control it and just yell out.
yeah,
People whose names rhyme with Merrill Mooks.
nice.
Praying for those families, praying for the people that tragically lost their life, because that should not be lost either. The fact that there was lives lost.
You're literally
All
arguing for
emphasis has
jury
been put on the
nullification. That's
alleged
what you're
defendant.
asking them to do. You're asking them to forget that fucking people were murdered. What are you talking about? You just made an argument for jury nullification, and now you're saying we shouldn't forget that there were lives lost? Those are contradicting ideals in your own fucking statements. That was like less than, 20 minutes ago? God damn.
True. Good point.
And the people have been disregarded. Makes me wonder, does the DA even care about those people?
They're literally the ones fighting for them, you fucking idiot. Does the DA even care about them?
What's the name
I'm
of the male prosecutor?
Witch Owl.
Did you see his eyes there? He was looking
No.
around like, what?
Yeah, really, it makes no sense. Like, they are literally the ones that are fighting for the victims.
Yeah.
You're asking the jury to ignore them. You're the one who's doing what you're saying right now. God.
Yeah, it's not them that cares about the victims, it's you, Darrell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Definitely tragic. Definitely tragic.
you ran him over nice and purty like.
My actions were definitely tragic. Definitely a murderer. Definitely a murderer. That
This
doesn't
was
mean you can't let me go.
this was definitely tragic. Trust me, I was there. I saw it firsthand.
You should
Prayers
have
going
you
up.
should have seen it. People were flying everywhere. It was crazy. Heard bones pop. I ran over a lady. It was nuts.
I think I hit a couple people in there. Allegedly.
Up every day. It's been suffering on both sides.
Gotta throw that in there.
It's been threats, hate mail. because of the narratives that's been put out there, the misconceptions that have been put out there, the lies that have been put out there, lies that have caused my children not to be able to go to school, to be bullied, for my mother to have to leave her home and stay at a hotel because she's afraid for her safety.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Because she gets
Yeah.
hate
Who
mail
knows
shoved
through
through
that?
her mailbox. My nieces and nephews to fear for their safety.
And whose fault is that, Darrell? You're blaming, like, society at large, I guess? Can't stand people who make this argument. It's like people on Twitter when they get canceled, they're like, oh, I've been getting death threats. It's like the first thing they say. Like, so that somehow negates this horrible thing that you did? Like, that's not a defense. Sorry. Yes, there are crazy people out there that are going to say mean things, but it's based on your actions. Take some fucking accountability.
And what's been equally hard is not only having to answer questions from my daughter, who was 7 at the time, my baby girl, who was 7 at the time, is now 8. Attempting to answer her questions that she's asking, and still continue to shield her from what she sees, what she hears.
Why did you do this?
Having a newborn son that I haven't even been able to meet.
Yep, now he starts crying.
I haven't
There it
been
is.
able to hold, touch, kiss. Having to navigate everything that comes with this whole situation. While still attempting to wrap my head around it. I can't honestly say how many times I've sat in my cell, especially during lights out, alone, where it's just you. And just been praying and asking myself, how could this happen? Not just for the people, but for everybody involved, the community too. How could this happen? How?
Long
The
pause.
hardest questions you can ask is those that don't have an answer. No matter how much thinking you do, no matter how much you try to look at it from different perspectives and listen to other outside perspectives and listen to people that you trust and that you love, still coming up with nothing.
You take the good, the bad, and there you have my opening statement.
But to think for 1 second,
Just babbling.
One question I never had to ask was if this was intentional. That's something that never even I never asked once because I know it wasn't.
Oh, I'm convinced now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He makes this argument like if you knew him, you'd know that he isn't the type of person that would be
Not,
able to commit these crimes.
Well,
Right? Like
he
if you
couldn't
got
have because he cuts umbilical cords. He's cut like
yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah. He has 5 kids he never sees. How can a man with kids be a murderer? It just doesn't make sense. Do the math, people. But like he tries to make this argument like if you knew him, you know what I mean? If you knew him better, you there would be no question in your mind that he's not capable of this. If I was to ever think of what type of person was capable of the insane acts of driving through a parade full of people, it's him. Like he he can't stop himself from talking. He can't stand and sit with everybody else. Like he is in direct contradiction of what societal norms dictate. Like just typical everyday behavior
Or
is a
direct
show.
contradiction of who you wouldn't expect to do this. He's who you would expect to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
He
Like he's
already
trying.
tried to kill his cousin with a gun. He already
Yeah,
tried to kill his girlfriend with a car, actually the same car that he used.
yeah. Tells her he's gonna murder her. You hear the judge say on phone calls, he's like talking about like, oh, if I really wanted to kill her, she wouldn't be here right now. Like if there ever was a type of person that I could get to know to try to decide if they're a murderer, you are fucking prime example number one. God, it's so like deluded. Like he's so incapable of seeing how he looks. It's pathetic.
matter of fact, it never even crossed my mind to even attempt to ask myself that because I know it wasn't.
And I can't handle those kind of questions.
And I know sometimes during this trial probably doesn't show. Maybe hard to believe. But trust me when I say no one outside of the families that had to go through this, no one's heart is more in pieces than mine. So again, I go back to all these exhibits. Go back to everything that's been shown, everything that's been testified to. Everything you've heard during this whole process, this trial. And again, I say the same thing that I said earlier. Same thing I said in opening statements. I'm not reading from any paper, any books. Everything you've heard in opening statements, everything you're hearing now is from right here. Everything. You have the decision. You and you alone. All of you. You have the decision.
Yeah, see, I think he thinks that they're deciding his sentence.
I'm sure you've taken a lot of notes during this process.
drew characters of me with devil horns.
Some days are longer than others.
Again, because of you.
A lot of movement in and out of the courtroom for various reasons.
Them all being because of you for various reasons. It was
Reasons
just
like,
every time.
yeah.
Remember the power that you have. Don't for 1 second let it be taken away from you.
If I was a juror, I'd find this insulting.
I can never understand the
Yeah.
position of
And when I remember the first time I saw this, when he said, "Do what's right, do what's right." I remember thinking, like, if I was a juror, I would be like, "Yeah, I'll do what's right, all right."
Yeah.
By convicting you as guilty, it's the
Yeah.
it's the only response to that.
It's their responsibility to fucking do what's right and make sure to convict his ass. It's contradicting
sitting there.
ideas to do what's right, but also nullify law. Like, what are you saying? Nullify law, but do what's right. Okay, got it.
And not just nullify law on behalf of you.
Of a jury in something of this magnitude. So I'm sure there's a lot of pressure. I pray that the right decision is made. The right decision.
That face he makes reminds me of his mom.
Really?
Like, yeah, I feel like he got that facial expression from his mom.
Hmm.
Their wings are clipped. You
He
remember?
needs-
She like makes that face throughout the whole thing.
Oh, does she?
I
I
thought
saw
so.
stream that in the video in the background. There's like a big sheet covering something. It turns out that's bunk beds. She sleeps in bunk beds. I thought that was so fucking funny. Bunk beds.
I don't know,
So odd.
maybe she likes to be up high when she sleeps.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta figure she's in bottom bunk. Bottom bunk is the one you want. I remember when I was a kid and we had bunk beds, trying to climb that every night. Like, if I was, I remember being drunk and like, oh, oh boy, climbing Mount Olympus, just like crash.
I can't remember if I had a preference about that.
It's almost like that message. Well, not message, but that writing. When we're in our vehicles and we got that rearview mirror and it said things are closer than they appear. But it's also another way of saying sometimes things aren't as they appear.
Dumb. Boo.
I can't speak for anyone else, but me, myself, I believe in Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we go.
That's how I was raised. That's what I believe in.
Oh man, shit back.
What?
None of us are perfect.
Oh man, shit back. Ugh.
But I try
Chow
every
wow?
day to make sure that
No, it's what he says during the sentencing remarks. He comes in, he's like, "All men will bow."
Oh, where he's like, every knee shall bow.
Yeah, it's like so pathetic. Trying to put on this act that he's like this man of God. God damn. Ugh.
Likening himself to Jesus.
Yeah. I just walked
I
the path, persecuted for my crimes. My goodness. You will one day see I am all.
I am all.
Get psycho.
acknowledge him. That's why every time I step in this courtroom, I have my Bible with me everywhere I go. I even read it on breaks, recesses.
And you make
Good
sure to hold it
boy.
This
real
is not
high so
something
everybody
that
can see.
started at the beginning of this incident. This is something that has been instilled in me since I came out of the womb. This is how my family lives their life. This is how we was raised.
Clearly not.
He was
He doesn't
raised
even
that way. He got one too many bugs in his cereal, and
he
everything
doesn't
went south.
he doesn't have the capabilities to even treat another human being with decency, let alone like follow the Ten Commandments. Like, do not murder. That's like number one, man. Like, how do you justify that in your head? You think that you just ask for forgiveness and all is good? You're getting your fucking ticket to heaven? You're burning, bro.
Sadly, though, I think probably a lot of people think that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird about like Christianity. It's like
Death
Jesus
insurance.
is like this free pass.
Yeah, it's like afterlife insurance. Like, oh, I'm not sure if there's an afterlife, but I better just say I'm sorry, before I go to bed at night, just in case, because I don't want to put in for eternity. I don't actually live like a good person. No, 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 no. That's too hard. Not murdering people, that's difficult, but the asking for forgiveness part I can handle.
For whatever mistakes that I myself have made in my life, I've made peace with God. Made peace. I'm happy to say that my conscience is clear.
There's the line. My conscience is clear. Even if it was an accident, how could you say that
Because I
with a
believe
straight face? Like, if it was the accident he's purporting, how could you say that your conscience is clear?
Yeah, normal person would still feel guilty even if it was an accident.
So much of what he's saying is just so contradictory to other shit he's said. Like, he contradicts himself throughout this fucking. It's ramblings. It really is like psychotic ramblings of a madman.
You know what I just thought of? Someone should make like a Darrell Brooks Halloween mask.
Fucking scary.
That would be
That's
pretty funny. One of those latex masks
Oh god, yeah, that'd be horrifying.
with like the pointy ears and all.
Yeah, somebody said he looks like Dracula the other day, and I thought that was pretty poignant.
Oh, the Nosferatu
Yeah,
version.
he that.
Nosferatu with the teeth.
Yeah, he's got the fucking nasty teeth, the fucking pointy ears, the bald head. If you put him in a cloak, it'd be like a spitting image.
I trust him with my life. Nobody will never know why it was his will for this to happen.
Oh God, is that fucking tone deaf? It's
A
not
lot
my
of
fault.
lives
It
were
was
changed
God's
that day.
will. I didn't do it. God did it. Blame him, not me. God, why, God, you asshole?
God's way is not our own.
Not
No
your
matter
own.
how much sometimes we want to question, we have to have faith.
Faith.
Faith. Faith. God, stop sucking your lips. It's so gross.
He's thirsty for blood.
Look inside yourself. Look inside
so,
yourself and make the right decision.
so
He's he,
pathetic.
he's thinking this line is like a slam dunk.
Yeah. Like he really thinks this is his Hail Mary pass. And that he's getting through to this jury.
Look inside yourself. Even the dramatic repetition
Hmm.
punctuating that slam dunk.
This is his To Kill a Mockingbird moment.
Look inside your heart. You have everything in your hands now. Everything. Do what's right.
God damn the pauses, man.
Do what's right.
This one pissed me off.
Looks like he's
He
holding in a
Don't
turd.
let the smoke and mirrors take away
he
your
needs
power.
like the wrap it up
Don't let
music
the
from the
theatrics
Oscars. You know?
take away your power.
Like, okay.
From what?
And even during the Oscars when somebody starts talking so long, they like play the music to get him to wrap it up. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Each and every one of you has a decision.
Staring at you like a dog watching you eat dinner.
Yeah, man. Being in that jury box, I would not want this guy looking at me like that.
A dog watching you eat dinner hoping you drop a scrap.
Scrap of freedom. Pick that up, put it in my pocket.
Do what's right.
He said that like 6 times now. Do what's right. 30
Make the
second
right
pause.
decision.
Make the right decision. 30
Yeah,
second.
like I said, he liked that line.
Yeah.
but he's still not done.
Yeah, there's like another 20 minutes or so, right? How much time is left?
He's still got more garnishes for this Sunday.
There's at least a good 15
It's
minutes
hard to
left of
think
this.
about.
Holy shit.
My younger kids getting older and at some point having to explain everything to them.
Oh, this is the bullshit anecdote with his daughter's supposed letter.
Kids don't stay kids forever. And nowadays, kids is frankly a lot smarter than we were when we was kids. I'll tell you that
They
much.
like figured out that I did this. Like my youngest kid knows. It was like, holy shit, man. How'd you know that?
I got a letter the other day. My youngest daughter,
Was it signed?
and she's still learning cursive right now, so she's the best writer when it comes to cursive. She'd rather
Oh,
print.
well, that's not an important detail, but you're just making this up, so
Yeah,
it's
he
just
writes.
words. It's just words
He,
to fill in
She
time.
said, Dad,
have you seen any of his jailhouse forms? He writes in cursive. I think
this is
that's why
from
he
the
says
letter.
that.
She said, Dad,
Oh, you think he actually
like,
physically wrote this up?
Yeah, like he wrote a little girl letter, in cursive. It's to my dad. I
I
mean,
think I think that's giving him too much credit. I'm pretty
he
sure he
wrote.
just made this up on the fly.
I thought he was gonna come in the next day when he brings the pictures in from Erica, and the judge asks him to bring the letter in the next day. I thought he was gonna come in with like a girly handwritten letter and like, "Oh baby, I miss you so much," and this and that. I miss that big dick.
Written in
Have you?
pink.
Yeah. Have you seen during the interrogation that he like constantly insinuates that like Erica was just dying to get boned by him? It's like, I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm give you a hug and kiss, but I'm gonna be out. It ain't gonna be about that. I'm not trying to have sex with you. It's like, dude, you are not fucking big pimpin'. It's not like fucking every girl you meet is just dying for fucking Darrell dick. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You had a PTO against her. Like, or was it TPO? The last thing on anybody's mind is fucking sleeping with you.
Yeah,
God,
it's almost like he wanted to believe that was true.
yeah, definitely projecting.
Yeah.
I hear him say, I've gotten multiple letters from her. You're so afraid of me, and oh, how you doing? And this and that. It's clear it really bothers him that she's not sending him letters and is totally ignoring him.
people saying all these mean things about you.
And I love the fake cry afterwards. That's not the dad I know. He
I haven't read the rest of that letter yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. First he claims that he didn't read the rest of it, and then he contradicts himself. But yeah, this is where I forgot. First he says he didn't read the rest of the letter. Then like a second later he finishes the letter. Some punchline he made up.
Again, like fucking contradicting his own statements makes no sense.
And pantomiming crying.
The rest of that sentence said, that's not the dad I know.
The dad I know would have killed more. Quite frankly, they don't know that him. He's not in their lives.
Yeah.
That's not the dad I know. The dad I know is non-existent. He's a
Throughout this
ghost.
year, I've been called a lot of things.
That's not the dad I know. The dad I know isn't you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's mom's boyfriend.
yeah. It's Kevin. God.
And to be fair, I am a lot of things. A murderer is not one of them.
Murder.
Never
I like to
has
think
been,
I'm more
never will
murder
be.
adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah. God damn. The fucking stalling.
So before I
Holy shit.
close my statements,
It's not supposed to be statement. It's supposed to be an argument. He clearly misunderstood the assignment.
I just want to say open your hearts.
Open your hearts and let me stab them.
Go inside yourself when making this decision.
Oh, I think here's where he starts kissing their asses.
Have no fear.
Telling them how brave they are for just sitting there.
Yeah. Doing what they had to do legally.
Pray and do what you know is right. What you know is right.
There's
The
that
fuck,
dog at the table look again.
fucking gall of this guy after the way he acted and all the evidence against him to think that
Think
anybody
about
would.
everything you've heard. Think about
God
everything you
damn.
haven't been privileged to hear. Think about the whole issue. You know, everything. Whatever you decide, make sure you yourself can live with it. Make sure you can
Amen.
live with it. That's the magnitude of the power that you have. Just like this tissue is in my hand, this is everything. You have everything.
What?
Be at peace with what you decide.
Like, think about what he's saying right now. You have to live with your decision.
Have no
I,
regrets.
I would want him in jail. Like, even if I doubted it somewhat, I wouldn't want to live with the fact that I let a murderer go.
Don't let this decision
Yeah.
weigh on you
Well,
after it's over.
there's always some like really liberal people out there you got to figure. And you know he's banking on that. He's hoping there's that one like bleeding heart in the jury because I think he only needs one of the jurors to say not guilty for him to be.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But still, that bleeding heart would have to go against the 6 dead people that, like, their families are sitting right there. You know what I mean? Like, he's making this impassioned plea.
Well, not necessarily because it's not like him going to jail forever brings them back. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, devil's avocados.
Yeah. kind of funny to think, like, I'll bet when he went back to his cell this night, he probably in his head thought he did a really good job, and that was
Yeah,
probably that was the last night where he had any shred of hope of freedom.
yeah, 1,000%. He thought he actually did something here. And like, if anything, he's really more testifying towards the prosecution. Like, again, if I'm putting myself in the seat of a juror, and this guy is telling me over and over again, based on the way Darrell acted and the evidence that was presented, do what's right and make sure you can live with it. I'm interpreting that as fucking convict me. Like, you don't want to run the risk of me out there in the world, do you? Like,
Yeah, me too. That's that. I was saying that before. Like, definitely.
even
Eh,
if, like, he's trying to present this question and you know what I mean, like this debate about whether or not he was able to stop. But like that upon itself is ambiguous. Like it implies his intent. So we're like rolling the dice on whether or not you meant to drive through these people. You still did it. Like even if you were insane, how do I know you're not going to do it again? Like just because you're mentally ill does not give you an excuse to be a fucking asshole. Like if I let this guy go, I would worry every night. Like, what is he out there doing? We'd know what he'd be out there doing. Beating on women, shooting at people, running people over. Like, this dude's violence was escalating, like, every day. 1,000% he would have killed again.
Well, my main concern about it would be like what it represents, because everyone watching the trial sees that, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I can just run over a bunch of people and act a total fool in the courtroom, and I
yeah,
can walk free."
yeah. As long as I, make this crying face and do what's right at the end of it. Sheesh. Good point.
Hopefully, we got a long lot of living ahead of us, Lord willing.
Here comes the butt kissing.
What a long, strange journey it's
Don't
been.
look back and kick yourself in the behind.
Such a stupid looking face.
It's been about 3 weeks with you, and
I done acted a damn fool.
took a lot of courage and a lot of guts to pause your life for this. To put important things on hold, to basically stop your life.
Impressed by the jury, are you, Darrell? Inspired, are you?
It's like they're like
Should be
real
commended
people.
for
They've
being
got like jobs and families, things that actually matter to them.
able to sit up here with this amount of pressure.
I mean, if I was in your shoes, I'd just want to kill somebody.
I want you guys to know that's not lost on me. I'm sure it's a lot. And you all should be commended because it took courage to do this. I don't know, but I would bet a lot of people wouldn't want to be sitting in your position right now. And you guys had the guts to do it. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking pretty much a month and setting it to the side
Here comes the round of applause
for
line. I love
this.
that line.
Yeah,
There's no sincerity at all in that line.
he really thought like a slow clap was gonna break out.
I know it's probably not proper, but you guys deserve a round of applause if you could get one.
Yeah, he really is like suggesting like we should just stop and applaud the jury. So strange. Imagine how awkward that would be.
It's just so patronizing.
Yeah, let's take a
Thank you
minute and
guys. It's
celebrate the
really,
jury who are about to convict this
and I
man to
know,
life in
and
prison.
I have faith and I trust that.
Well, with that context, I will give them a round of applause.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
made
really,
us
they
ready.
do deserve a fucking a slow clap.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's fair to just say guys, but
Oh, that was so awkward. This is
I believe in your
painful.
heart you know what's right.
Stop talking. Like, just sit
Thank you.
down, bro. Shut up. Ugh, finally over. I love watching Darrell Brooks, but
Before
God,
I
he
give the
just like
state an opportunity
saying the same thing over and
present
over
rebuttal,
again.
please stand for a
Do
minute.
what's right.
Stand.
Long pause. Do what's in your heart. Long pause. Look inside yourself. Do what's right. I think you're 1,000% right. He went home after this, was laying in his bed, and he was like, "Man, I fucking killed it today, bro. Everybody saw it. I'm fucking Perry Mason up in this bitch. I gangstered the fuck out of that
Have a seat,
courtroom."
please. And
I
attorney
don't know about that. I
apparatus.
think he
The time
probably
will
just thought he had a
close in
shot.
13:28 left.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
he
it.
just that was the last time he went to bed thinking he would ever be free.
Yeah. All right, man.
Folks,
That was cool.
let me
This was fun. Have to do this again soon.
Sure.
Call these streaming Saturday.
And I'll stop the recording now.